Alright, now that we have some experience working with systems of equations, we can now do word problems just a little bit easier. Here we have a problem that if you've been watching the videos you saw in an earlier section where we were talking about mixing almonds and peanuts and coming up with a bridge mix. Well, when we did this before, we created a table, and then we, in our total column here, was where we got our equation that we could solve for. Well, we're going to go back and we're going to redo this exact problem. Let me show you the problem there. We're going to redo this same problem, but this time we're going to use a system of equations, and we're going to see how it's actually a little bit easier with a system of equations. So first things first, I'm going to list out my variables. We've got almonds, which I'm going to call A, and we have peanuts, which I'm going to call P. Now we're going to be adding together some chocolate-covered almonds and some chocolate-covered peanuts to create a bridge mix. We don't know how much of either one that we need to mix together, but we know that we're going to have 50 pounds total. So that means that the almonds plus the peanuts together have to equal 50 pounds. Okay, now they've also talked to us about money. So the almonds are $6.50 per pound. So if I were going to write that out, that would be 6.5 times however many pounds of almonds we have. Now we're going to add that to the peanuts, which are $4 per pound. So that would be 4 times however many pounds of peanuts we have, would equal the bridge mix. The bridge mix we want to be $5 per pound. So $5 for each of those 50 pounds. This is our system of equations, and now we can solve that really using any method that we've learned, graphical, substitution, or elimination. This one is actually going to be a little bit easier to solve, probably with substitution, just because this first equation we could rearrange these and solve for a variable very easily. In fact, in this first equation, let's just solve for P. So if I were to do that, I would have to subtract A from both sides to get P equals 50 minus A. Well, now that we know P is 50 minus A, we could replace P in the next equation with 50 minus A, and we could solve. So now we have 6.5A plus 4P. Oh, no, we're not going to use P, are we? We're going to use what we found P to be, which is 50 minus A, equals 5 times 50. And now we can distribute and solve. So we'll have 6.5A plus 4 times 50 would be 200. 4 times negative A would be negative 4A, equals 5 times 50 would be 250. And now collecting our like terms, 6.5A minus 4A would be 2.5A plus 200 equals 250. And now subtracting 200 from both sides to get 2.5A equals 50. And then dividing both sides by 2.5 to get A equals 20. So this tells us we have 20 pounds of almonds. Now, because we have to have 50 pounds total, we can see if there's 20 pounds of almonds, then the peanuts have to be 30 pounds. Another thing we could do, though, would be to plug it back into the peanut equation. So if we know that the amount of peanuts equals 50 minus A, and we just found that A is 20, that means the peanuts have to be 30 pounds. So we have just found how many peanuts and how many almonds to mix together for that bridge mix.